Good day to you peeps, Lisa there again, and today I'm coming to you with one or two up and coming projects that I've got on the go. They're slow burners, one or two of these, so I thought I'd just sort of show you roughly what we're about. Yeah, I was a bit unwell earlier in the week, not feeling too great, so things have been a bit slow here, but I'm back now, and enough about me. Let's go on with the projects. So, inspired I was by the double necker that we finished not so long ago and that I featured fairly recently on the channel. So impressed in fact that I built another one. And there you go. I've just got to fit the bridge on this one. There is a piezo buzzer, piezo pickup, or a piezo mic, known by all those names I think, inserted into this one. And I'm going to do something a little bit different with this one. I'm planning to add a bass string on here, so we've got a kind of bass accompaniment, and I've put the necks close together so that we can kind of rip up and down a little bit faster. Quite excited about this one. I had one or two teething problems at the end. You always get problems at the end, don't you? But here she is anyway, and I do hope to be featuring this one on the channel soon. I do remember last time that we briefly touched on bass instruments, and I'm all about the bass at the moment. I realised that I haven't really got a lot of bass, and I used to play bass actually years ago. I've not touched a bass in years, but here anyway is the beginnings of my latest bass project. So as you can see so far, I've made the neck. It took a little bit of time. It's got a sort of Rickenbacker styly headstock, slightly different. I didn't want to rip off Rickenbacker too much, so you could call it the Rickenblagger or the Rickenfaker, I suppose. But anyway, this is as far as I've got. As you can see, it's got a very thick piece of oak for the fingerboard. It's going to be a 2-stringer, and it's going to be fretless. I did mess around with a couple of boxes for the body, but being as this is pretty heavy, the whole thing was nose diving quite a lot, so I thought I'd kind of go back to the drawing board with this one and see if we can come up with something better. Quite excited about it anyway. That's as far as I've got, as I say, and I've not really planned this one too much. I just thought we'll start building, we'll start creating this wonderful art, and we'll see how we get on. So that's that one, very briefly, and I will keep you updated on the progress with the Rickenblagger. Moving swiftly on. For the longest time I've meant to build a canjo, and I wanted to electrify it, just basically to see what sort of sound we could get from a canjo. And I was on the flea market a couple of weeks ago, and I picked up this very inexpensive basically tobacco tin or baccy tin. As you can see, there's a couple of little sound holes here. I've fitted a piezo to it, and if we open it up, you can see inside there's the little box of tricks. So all the electrics come unstuck there. It was just basically so I could close the lid, but it's packed inside. And the experiment with this one is how much sound can we get out of this tiny tobacco tin. It's going to go on top of the neck like a canjo, very similar to a board over box style guitar, if you're familiar with these instruments. But really this is a bit of fun, you know. And I'm absolutely intrigued to see what, if any, kind of sound we can get out of this one when she's all hooked up and plugged into little Roland. So I'll be continuing with this one also this week, and yeah, I think we'll probably have a little bit of fun with this. So yeah, I mean that's it really. It's just a quick progress. Here I go again. Progress report. just to tell you what I've been up to. One thing I think worth a mention also about this one, before I forget, is you'll see there's a little switch on here which came off another guitar, and I will tell you it serves absolutely no practical purpose whatsoever. It's not connected to the electrics or anything like that. It's purely there for aesthetics. Being as these are art pieces, I thought, you know, this switch will look really nice on this box. So there you go. It's put on there purely for aesthetic reasons. I managed to get that sentence out anyway. Years ago, I did see C6 Steve actually, and he was playing the most elaborate diddly bow that I've ever seen. You know, there's all kinds of like details and decals and things on it. And right at the end, he had a green giant corn can, just an empty can of corn. And he said the same. He said, here's a green giant corn can. And he had an old-fashioned window winder. Remember when you had to manually unwind the windows? I think it was off a Chevrolet attached to the body. And he said exactly the same thing. He said they serve no practical purpose whatsoever. Purely there as part of the instrument, just because it's there. And I really like that sentiment, you know. And I really got that sentiment as well. So I thought I'd do that with this one here. Once she's all plumbed in, I will demonstrate her to you. I've no idea how she's going to sound. But it was kind of a lot of fun this week when things were a bit slow. Just to take my time really and come up with another one of these. I must admit I'm really getting into these. So I'm seeing how far we can go with these instruments. And there it is really. If you've made it to the end, as always, thank you very much. If anything interests you about these up and coming projects, do let me know. Any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer you, our wonderful subscribers in our marvellous community. So that's it from me for now. I'll be back very soon. But in the meantime, keep building and stay blessed. Bye for now. Bye.